Disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before putting your money to work. With that out of the way, let's have some fun and enjoy the episode. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Rich Off Gains podcast. It's your boy CB checking back in with you all. Happy Money Mondays. This is episode 29 of the Rich Off Gains podcast. Happy Memorial Day. I hope you all are having a great day so far. Hopefully you all had a great weekend and are ready to get back to it in the market going into tomorrow. Without further ado, let's get right to it. But before we get started, just want to leave a few words of wisdom for y'all real quick. Don't be a fool. Be wise. A lot of people make foolish mistakes and foolish decisions in their relationships, in their day-to-day actions, and in life in general, just simply due to the fact that they don't think about the things that they don't think about the things they're doing before they do it. They just do. Instead of not thinking through what you're doing, think before you do. Think before you take that step. Think before you make that action. Think before you make that decision, because that decision can be what determines your trajectory and where you're going in life long term. So don't be foolish. Be mindful of what you're doing. Be mindful of your actions and be wise. We live in a world full of distractions, full of attention-seeking companies who want to take your attention and who want to take away your time that you have on this earth. And in doing so, you're giving up your time that is the most valuable thing that you have in order to exchange for a piece of entertainment or distraction, which is what it is, that doesn't even equivalent to the value of your time. Because your time is way more valuable than scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. Your time is way more valuable than just being distracted and burning away time from not being able to take care of your health, take care of your wealth, or to take care of time with your family and loved ones. So today we're going to talk about a few different ways to eliminate distractions out of your life and to reclaim that time that you are missing out on having. Starting out with number one, we have isolation. A lot of people distract themselves from the things that matter by consuming up the things that don't matter with their life, right? So a lot of times people are just so fixated on having fun or doing the things that they know are not going to help their life improve. Instead of isolation, they're exposed, they're going out, they're doing all the different things in the clubs or in the environments that they know are not going to help them improve their quality of life. This is for those of the people that don't have the improvement of quality of life that they claim to want. You have to isolate yourself for a certain period of time to create that lifestyle that you want to have, or create those standards in your life that you want to have, in order so that you can enjoy life comfortably. Because you might go out and be with your friends, go party, go do whatever, but then you come back to a lifestyle that isn't what you really want. Going out and partying isn't going to get you that lifestyle that you really want. Isolating yourself from doing the things that you shouldn't be doing will get you the life that you want. You have to learn to how to be exclusive with your time. How to choose when and when not to show up to certain things. How to be in the mix and how to not be in the mix at certain times. When it's appropriate and when it's not appropriate. If you're living check to check and you're trying to survive, that's not a thriving mind state. That's not a thriving lifestyle that you should be able to, or should be comfortable enough to go out and enjoy life and party. Now, if you are, then that's great. But if you know that there's more in life for you, what's in store for you and your family and the people that you have in your life, you need to isolate yourself for a certain period of time, whether it be a month, few months, a few years, however long, to create that foundation of life that you want for yourself, and then put yourself back in that public scene or that environment that takes away from your time. So eliminating distractions by isolating yourself is one of the ways to eliminate distractions. Number 2, get off your phone. If you're watching this video online, swipe out. Get off your phone, because you've been scrolling for a long period of time, that so long that you've now wasted hours and hours on just scrolling and not doing anything else. You're using your finger to just scroll. You could be doing a whole lot more with that time, a whole lot more productivity with that time, being way more productive than you already are being by just scrolling away. You could be going to the gym, you could be cooking, you can be going for a walk, you can go touch some grass. Go touch grass, go outside, go experience life for what it is. It's not just on a digital screen. You have to step away and learn to step away consciously long enough to find new things to do in your life. You're living through someone else's point of view, because you're watching what they're doing on a day-to-day basis rather than creating your own stories and your own memories. Get off your phone. Go create memories. Go make memories. Go make moments in your life that matter to you. So the number 2 thing we have is get off your phone. Number 3, we have set limits. Set limitations and boundaries in your life to remove distraction and disruption from your life. So what does that look like? That might look like having a schedule on a day-to-day operation or a day-to-day basis of what you're doing throughout the day at certain periods of time of the day, or certain periods of time of the week for your schedule to be set up. So yeah, you may still want to be on your phone. Okay, that's fine, but limit yourself to being on your phone for a certain period of time. Don't just have no limitation and just have unlimited usage of phone time, rather than having a limited usage of phone time and eliminating that factor of just consuming too much content and being on your phone too long. Set limitations. Set boundaries for yourself so that you can be more productive. Set boundaries for yourself so that you can have more of your time. Set boundaries for yourself so that you can have more time with your family, friends, and loved ones. Set more boundaries for yourself so you can have more time to work on that thing that you're trying to work on in the background. Set boundaries in your life if you want something more than what you already have. If you continue to be distracted, you will never get that thing. So you have to set boundaries and set limitations up in your life so that you're not over consuming content and media and different distractions that come along in life. Number 4, protect your mind. Protect your energy. That's how I correlate protecting your mind with distraction, is protecting your mind from things that can affect your energy, right? So gossip, drama, negativity. These are things that you don't want too much consumption of, because it makes you feel away, or it makes you feel engaged enough to respond or react. Not pouring too much time and energy into the negativity helps protect you and your mind state to be a more positive thinker, to be a more abundant thinker, to be a more of an action taker, rather than someone who's just a commentator, or someone that's speaking on someone else's process and results rather than creating your own. Protecting your mind and protecting your energy is another way to stay out of the distractions so that you can produce the results, produce the outcomes, so that you're the one that people talk about. You want to be the person that people talk about in a way that isn't negative. And if it is, that's also good too, because now you have more energy that's being poured into you. Instead of you having energy outflow, energy's flowing into you because it's feeding into what you're doing. And so it might motivate you more to do the thing. It might inspire you more to do the thing. It might not, but it also just alleviates you having to choose where your energy is going. The energy is coming to you. So you determine what energy you consume and not consume. You can choose not to consume the negative energy rather than consume it, because you're the one producing it. You have control. So staying in control looks like protecting your mind and protecting what you consume. The last and final thing, don't think in the moment. A lot of times people get really distracted simply due to the fact that they're short-term thinkers. They think in the moment of what ifs and what's going on every single day, rather than thinking long-term and down the road of what can be possible. You get so caught up in what's going on in the short period of time that you're missing out on the bigger picture. You get caught in the liquidation and the move in the market because of the short-term news that's happening right now in this moment, but you're not seeing the bigger picture of the idea and what can come out of this situation. Instead of looking at it as an opportunity to buy, you're looking at it as a sell the news kind of thing. Stop thinking short-term. Increase your time frame of thinking and increase it to be a larger time frame of thinking so that you can increase your results. Because there's never been, to my knowledge, there's not been not one investor who hasn't made money from holding long term. There hasn't been one person that loses in a long-term perspective other than the person who thinks short-term. Stop thinking short-term, increase your time frame of thinking, and change your outlook on the things you're seeing day to day. You shouldn't even be seeing it day to day, simply due to the fact that you're over consuming content is what's creating that fear of the short-term sell pressure. If you took yourself off of that app or that platform, it now removes that distraction all in itself. So all these things coexist and come together to help you not be distracted and help you succeed long term. If you think about every successful investor, there's not one person, all the successful investors that got where they are didn't get there in a short period of time. They didn't get there in a year. They didn't get there in 2 years. They've been doing what they've been doing for over 20 plus years, 10 plus years to see the results that they've seen. So you have to put yourself in that perspective and think long term. Stop getting distracted. Start focusing on what matters. Today's investment tip of the week. Don't allow your ego to win. The reason why you keep losing in the market, the reason why you allow yourself to have major upsetting red days, the reason why you are not seeing results that you want to see is simply due to the fact that you're letting your ego take control of your process. Your ego is consuming you whenever you lose one trade, because now you're like, oh, I gotta get this win back so I can be green. Now you go deeper in the red. Your ego is consuming you to not want to lose, because once you go deeper in the red, now you don't want to lose and you want to try to make something back. So now you're trying to revenge trade and make the money back off of emotion and ego. Your ego won't allow you to have a red day small enough to live. It wants to increase the loss bigger so that you can now feel it more. Stop letting your ego control your results. Control yourself, control your actions, control your emotions. The better you have control of your actions and emotions, the better you will see results. You have to control your ego, and it's okay to lose. It's okay to be wrong, because that's just a part of the process in the market. There's going to be days where it's not going in your favor. The market is choppy, whatever the case is. You might not have the right conviction, whatever it may be. There's going to be moments in the market like that, and you have to accept that. You have to accept those days so that you can lose small enough to win big enough. Otherwise, if you keep losing big enough, you're going to always come up short on the winning side. So have control of your ego and your emotions in day trading and in investing as well, because a lot of times, same thing goes for investing. You might invest for a few months and then the market starts to pull back, or you might have bought at the wrong time, so the market starts to pull back, and now the investment that you initially had that was slightly green is now aggressively red. So now your ego is involved in this company and you don't want it to be red, so you buy it back to make it closer to break even or closer to green, and now it goes lower. Now you're in a deeper hole because your ego wouldn't allow you to just cut it at your stop loss that you had set in place. You want to have control of your ego. That's gonna be what kills most of your success, is your ego. So kill the ego, have self-control, have discipline, have no emotion when trading or investing. Just have pure logic and pure reasoning behind your investments and your decisions. No emotions. The moment you will allow emotions to kick in is the moment that you allow your losses to increase. Have self-control over your investments. If you guys want more tips and tricks about day trading and investing, make sure to click the link in the bio, www.continuebelief.com. I share a lot of free resources and tools, tips and tricks about how to day trade, how to get started investing, and so much more. So make sure you guys check out the link in the bio. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to leave a like and follow. And yeah, see you guys later. Last week, the government invested $2 billion into quantum computing companies, and they invested half of the $2 billion into IBM specifically. Now, there were a few other companies that they invested in, but what does this mean for quantum computing? Is it time to invest in quantum computing? In my opinion, I don't think it's the time to invest in quantum computing, because I think that it's still in a deep research development phase where we're still seeing a lot of aggressive research being had to create these AI quantum computing simulators to be able to solve these big problems that we want quantum computing to solve. So that part of it is still in the development and research phase. So for that reason, I don't think that it is worth investing in right now. However, I do believe that building a position is not a bad idea. Getting a starter position in some ETFs that are focused around quantum computing. There aren't a lot of them, which is why it's still not a good time, because it's not just a wide open opportunity where it's a pure play ETF that is investing solely in quantum computing, because it's not generating any income substantial enough to be worth investing in. And so for that reason, that's another reason why I don't think it is worth, going into investing in a lot of money into quantum computing. But there are companies and hedge funds that do have ETFs that contribute some money to quantum computing, but majority of it is contributed to big tech companies and companies that are leading the space in AI development and just overall software tech as well. So you can do that, or you can buy a pure play company that is solely focused on quantum computing now to have an early position and hold for the long term. This is not a short-term play. If you do get in now, be prepared to hold for over 5 years, in my opinion. This is still something that's in development, and it's not fully usable to the consumer, everyday consumer, not even the commercial. It's somewhat useful commercially, but it's not fully produced in a commercial usage. This investment was more so for research and development and creating the things that we need to create in order for us to be able to say that it's now active. It's not active yet, however. So with it not being active yet, and with there not being enough opportunity to invest in quantum computing, I don't think that it's worth investing in, but I do think that building a position is not a bad idea. The companies that they did invest in that I saw on the list were Rigetti, ticker symbol RGTI, D-Wave, ticker symbol QBTS, IBM being the major investment, ticker symbol IBM. Of those three, I think that Rigetti and D-Wave are the pure play quantum computing companies that you can invest in, but also, of course, IBM being a American company and them focusing the most money there, I would say put your money there as well, because in this current government, we see a lot of the investments that the American government invest in do really well. Dell and Intel being one of the two that, especially Intel having the run-up that it's had since the Trump administration has come into the office. from going to $20 all the way up to over $100. Pretty insane thing to see. So I would not be surprised if we see some favorable capital flow into IBM in a similar way. Doesn't mean that it will do that. That's just a possibility. So like I said, if you want to get some exposure to the quantum computing space, definitely would not be a bad idea to invest in some of those companies. A few other companies. Another company that I would like to mention is IonQ, ticker symbol IONQ. That company is sitting somewhere around $70. I don't believe the government invested any of the $2 billion into that company, but it is another company that's doing really well in the quantum computing space and has a very that's more of a manufacturer for the materials and tools that quantum computing will need to be big enough, similar to TSM for the semiconductors with AMD and NVIDIA. IonQ is going to be that for quantum computing. So if you want the manufacturer of the tools that quantum computing uses, IonQ is that. So that's another one that I would definitely say look into. I don't know if it's an American company that I would need to look more into and get more research about, but those would be the 4 companies that I would recommend if you were to buy today, look into buying. So SpaceX is scheduled to IPO coming in June 12th, and there's a lot of hype around SpaceX and the IPO. So today I'm here to talk about whether or not it's worth buying SpaceX off the initial public offering. In my opinion, absolutely not. The company is way overhyped, and there will be a lot of interest going into this initial public offering to buy shares of SpaceX. It's not even guaranteed that you'll get a share if you want one. You know, they're limiting the amount of shares that they're selling to about less than 5% of what the overall company is, which is going to increase the demand even more. They're exposing most of the shares to the retail investors. 30% of the 5% is going to retail investors. The other 70% is going to hedge funds and different institutional banking companies. So I don't think SpaceX will be worth buying off the initial public offering because it'll be overvalued due to the hype and the demand behind SpaceX. I think that you need to wait a few months for the company to cool off, typically somewhere around 6 months, so that we can see the private investors that invested into SpaceX early get out of their positions, because there will be people in the private space who want to take profits, especially these private investors. You know, investors, the people that invested with the private companies, want to, secure their profits since they've been holding for so long and seeing the valuation go to wherever it goes. I'm sure there will be people that want to take profits, and so let them take profits first, see how the price settles then, and then look to buy shares of SpaceX. Don't get into SpaceX and buy it as soon as it IPOs. You're going to be the liquidation eventually. If it doesn't happen that first day or the first week or the second week, it will happen eventually. So I will say be mindful of buying SpaceX going into the IPO. I don't think it's a bad company. I just think that it's overhyped right now due to it initially being offered to the public. Once it cools off, once it settles, then it'll be worth buying at the right price. Until then, don't go all in trying to buy SpaceX off the initial public offering, because it will most likely be very, very volatile, and it will most likely have a lot of fluctuation in price. With that being said, this will be episode 29 of the SpaceX Rich Off Gains podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. I just want to say thank you, God. And always remember to be true to you. Be true to yourself. Be true to your morals and the things that you value. Don't let anyone or anything change the things that you find important to your life. Don't let money change you for that. Don't let a person change you for that. Don't let anyone or anything change you from being who you are and standing on the things that you believe in this world. There's no dollar amount that can make you act a certain way or do a certain thing in spite of a dollar. There shouldn't be anything in the world that does that to you. Stay true to you, stay true to yourself, stay true to your morals and your principles, and stay positive. Don't change up for $1, because there are a lot of people who do that, who have done it and who do it. And so don't be that person. You know, stay true to you, work hard, stay consistent, be the version of you that is the purest version of you. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Happy Memorial Day once again. Make sure you guys stay safe out there, stay blessed. I will see you guys next week, same time, same place.